Hey guys, I'm Lighty, and I just want to talk about what build I'm going to be playing for 3.2. I'll be playing Bestiary softcore for the start. I'll do the solo self-defense stuff, and we'll talk about the future of that probably in a couple days after League starts, as you know, per usual. But I want to talk about my build. It did get hit pretty hard in the patch notes as expected. Trickster got nerfed, but it's good. I think it's going to be fun. It's not going to be like a crazy strong build. It doesn't really make sense, but I like it, so fuck it. So I'm playing Flameblast Trickster. And it's just going to be self-cast Flame Blast, crit. I'm not really going to be scaling the Ignite very much or try and proliferate it. It's just like one big hit, and it should be pretty comfy feeling, and it should be pretty good as far as just bossing damage. And it should be just a pretty fun build. So we're just going to build the tree together. PvP Planner has this 3.2 thing out. The tree is pretty much the gist of it as far as like the other gems goes, and the actual setup for Flame Blast. It'll just be like, you know, Flame Blast, crit strikes, faster casting, control destruction, conk, like that sort of pretty standard stuff, fire pen. But the thing I want to really talk about is the tree. That's the most important part, I think, for this. We're just going to kind of build it together, and this will be pretty basic. So let's just go over that. Yeah. So the whole thing with a Trickster is Harness the Void is the big damage. It got gutted pretty hard, but still a lot of damage. It just means we have a chance to gain a percent of our non-cast damage, meaning our fire damage in our scenario, which is going to be a lot of our damage from Flame Blast, just to Chaos, so it's a lot of damage, just free damage. And they can roll together, so you could hit all three of those percentages, so it's just a lot of fucking damage. You have Escape Artist is pretty nice. Patient Reaper is pretty nice. We have the Arcana, Swift Killer. Swift Killer is definitely one we're going to be getting. Gives us another power charge, frenzy charge, meaning we have 4 frenzy, 4 power. The power charges give us spell damage and crit chance, spell damage, because we're going to get the node behind here. So it is some spell damage. And then frenzy charge is giving us cast speed and more damage, which is also pretty nice. Not to mention just the 5% damage per one each from the actual Swift Killer. And it's just increased damage. So that just scales perfectly fine. So all this is just great scaling. And 15% on kill is just enough that we're pretty much fine no matter what. You will drop it when it comes to single target. But this also just means that we can pick up and prioritize getting Frenzy and power charges, which just feels good. Next we have Weave the Arcana, Prolonged Pain. We have some options for what we could do here. I'm thinking Weave the Arcana because it makes our shield charge feel nice, feel fun. It gives us mana, which is also good. Flame Blast is pretty heavy in the mana. Attack and cast speed if you've movement skilled recently, meaning the whole thing is you shield charge in, Flame Blast, and it goes faster. Recover 10% of our max mana when you use the skill, and reduce damage taken over time. We're spending 200 mana. 200 mana is pretty common. Oh my god. Jacob. I'm not really going to get Ghost Dance or Escape Artist because we're not really investing into ES or Evasion particularly. We're going to be pretty much life-based. We'll probably have some sort of ES buffer, but not to a really big degree. So Weave the Arcana makes the most sense. In our last point, we could grab either one. Prolonged Pain, we have Skill Effect Duration, reduce damage taken from dots. Poison damage, more damage. This doesn't really make sense to us, so the next best thing is Patient Reaper. We also could get Ghost Dance like we discussed. We would have no way of reaching Escape Artist, so that's pretty much off the table. Damage over time doesn't really affect us. Life on kill, great. ES on kill, fine. Mana on kill, fine. And then we have increased recovery rate, also fine. So Patient Reaper is just pretty comfy in quality of life. So the question is, do I like Patient Reaper more than Ghost Dance? In general, yes. I think it fills the slot better. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be our ascendancies. Now when it comes to actually getting our tree, we're going to be pathing pretty standard as far as this is like a caster-recaster build. So this is the standard starting location. We have no really need to get this. We don't really want to scale our chaos damage up, although we will gain some from Harness the Void. It just isn't worth it. Bandits, we're going to get a Lyra. Just no reason not to. This is the awkward triangle of shadow, but we do want to get like Blood Drinker. We want to get this charge. We don't really want anything down here. We could get Phase Acro. There's really, it's like not really a whole lot of reason to not get it, honestly. It's just as far as mitigation goes. But does it make sense to path down here? Anything else worth down here? No, not really. Okay, so we're not going to path down here. So we can get this triangle, and this looks really poopy, but it actually is still efficient. Like, this looks really shit because you're packing these points into it, but there's no way to really make this better aside from maybe putting Intuitive Leap there. But we do want all this. We just don't want Mind Drinker. So it's kind of a bummer that Mind Drinker doesn't affect us, because then Intuitive Leap would become pretty lucrative, but in this scenario, it just doesn't make sense. Spell Crit, good. Life, fine. Jewel Sockets, remember Abyss Jewels are in the game, so just Abyss Jewels are insane. Throat Seeker, multi is broken. When you're making a tree, like, to start the framework, it's pretty good feeling as far as just, you know, build what you have in mind, and then you could fuck around with it afterwards. We want to definitely hit the left side of the tree pretty heavy. We will be picking up Mom, there's no reason not to, I don't think. AoE is always good. Sanctity is also not bad, just regen. Okay, so let's just draw back and let's get an idea of where we want to go. What do we want to get? That type of shit. and then we can figure out pathing in general. Do I feel like this is enough life? 152? No, I don't feel like that's enough life. So do we need more life? Yes. Where can we access more life where it actually makes sense? There's really no more life here. Oh wait, there is. You can slap that out there. Boom. So now we're going to start getting more like effective with our cutting and trimming of the fat. 5% behind, fine. 2 points for Firewalker. No reason not to, honestly, just especially with the res. It's always good to cover res when you can. It doesn't really hurt. 1, 2, 3 travel points. Is there a better 3 travel points? There is. Why is this better? Because we actually get a dex node, which is probably going to help our scaling later on. Might be a little bit tricky to get. Also, now we gain extra melding. Another jewel socket becomes efficient. So you kind of see how it started all coming together. But then this doesn't look so good. We can put a point here if we wanted to and just cut 2 points there. Life is still an issue. Is it? Yes, to a degree. But now we have 2 points over here. Again, strength. A little bit better than in our scenario. So now that cut makes more sense. And this starts to look like it's kind of coming together. Alchemist is always a great cluster. If you have nowhere else to go for 3 points, might as well just pick up Alchemist, honestly. Flasks are insane. What are we using for auras? We think about that because we have access to a lot of aura nodes between, Charisma there. We have Influence up there. We do have Sovereignty in the left. So we do have access to them. They're not ridiculously far away. And since we are Mom, we could consider getting stuff like Righteous Decree, but I just don't think it's worth it. All right, so we got a little bit more life, and we can start thinking about what unique's running and if they kind of play into what we're doing. We do have access to stuff like Nimbleness. We did discuss how cast speed skill. So with Flameblast, that gives us stun immunity while casting. But the thing is, I'm probably using Kalem's Roots because I'm going to be shield charging so often. I get the dank movement skill stuff and attack speed. I'll have a high cast speed, so it just feels good to have that. You don't really want to be stunned while flame blasting. It just feels kind of bad. I do want to have access to the Dex and Fizz nodes there in case I do need stats. I really shouldn't though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jewel sockets. I'm pretty happy with that. I always want more just because of Abyss jewels, but there's no real way to get to any. So I'm pretty satisfied with that being my tree. I feel pretty happy with what we're doing. This is Celestial Flameblast. This is like one of the reasons I'm playing this is because of how cool this looks. This is what the Flameblast actually looks like, and it's very fucking sexy. So I'm going to be playing this as a Trickster, high cast speed, high damage, high crit, and it should scale quite well. I don't think I'll have any real problems as far as clearing. The build will be a little bit janky. I have no real way of mitigation or leeching. It's just kind of regen, which is I'm okay with. But Trickster feels good, and hopefully there should be some build-enabling uniques and some of the new beast stuff. Again, I don't know what the crab set does. I'm interested heavily in it, for sure. And if you have any questions about the build or what I'm trying to do here, feel free to ask me any suggestions. I'd love to take them. I've looked into this pretty heavily, and there's not a whole lot like I could do that's like different. So, but yeah, I'm at Lighty, and hit me up with what you're doing and tell me what build you're playing. So I'll see you guys on stream for the launch. Bye bye.